Thank you for tuning into the wind up. And today's hot topic is, do the labels really match reality in terms of tasting notes? I'm Trent, and
I'm Jason, and we're two guys just on our unfiltered and unapologetically unprofessional journey in wine.
well
I'll
done.
say unapologetically right at some point. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Our slogan here at the Wind Up is drink more, try more, learn more.
Okay, so before we go to the wines, we have our thought of the week. And I guess for me, my thought of the week is that I'm big with analogies and metaphors. And the one that I shared with Jace earlier in the week, he loved. So I'm going to share that with you guys. And for me, it was around we should treat wine like how we treat love, or making love.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is, we like to look at our lover and make sure it's right. We like to smell good for our lover. We like to also taste our lover as well. and most of all, is that we got to take it slow. We have to enjoy it. We have to make it memorable. We have to make it sensual as well. My wife might disagree, but then this is in my imagination.
In your imagination, because it's very rare to make love nowadays, I guess is what we're saying. That was such an interesting analogy, and I have all of these pictures of you and a bottle of wine being sensual together. I don't know what that's like, but I don't know if I can watch you drink another wine again. But okay, I get it. I guess
take your time, take it slow, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not a quick bang bang 20 seconds like I was a week ago. It's long. It's enjoyed the journey.
Correct.
Yeah, perfect. Good analogy, and I hope that resonates with a lot of people there. And so that was your thought of the week. I'm wondering what's on your mind, but if I let me bring it back to the topic at hand, and let's talk about my thought of the week, which is related to the label. I was very curious to understand what is the role, how do these labels get created, and I found out there's actually a wine label designer. There's a wine label designer that comes up with the different labels on each wine. And do you know how much it costs to get a label?
For designers, $1,000.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. It's not. A label can be between $2,000 to $30,000. Right, a huge amount.
I think I'm in the wrong field, Jason.
You're still thinking about making love to a wine bottle, so that's a different thing. But to me, I found that very interesting. I also find it interesting around how you make a choice. And to me, the whole wine journey is about how do you make the right choice when you go to your local bottle shop for choosing a wine. And does labels really play a factor in that? I would say for me personally, I try and stay away for any labels that are too graphic-y or too designy. I really like the simplistic labels because I feel like it's a marketing exercise to detract and attract. What about you? Do you pay attention to the labels when choosing a wine?
I do pay attention. So it's similar to my thought of the week. It's around, you see with your eyes first. If I like the look of it, I approach it. If I don't like the look of it, I don't approach it. I like something that's there that kind of captures me.
You approach a lot of things, okay. And so linking it back to being sensual, okay, I can see that the label, having the side of it is very important. When I'm looking at the wine, like I said, I look at the label. I just want a simplistic label, something like a Penfolds. It's like a red logo, black writing, no design or whatever. In comparison to you look at 19 Crimes, the one with Snoop Dogg on it. I feel like that's a marketing tactic. There's a celebrity that's on there. That's what's trying to draw them in. That's
too gimmicky. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like something that's to the point. Not too gimmicky. It's kind of like it tells you what it is, which region, what the wine is, what producer, what year, and you're not trying to hunt around Snoop Dogg's face trying to find what year it is.
Yeah, that's right.
So would you drop it like it's hot then?
I feel like you drop it like it's hot when you're having a bottle and being sensual. So I'm curious. Let us know in the comments below if you think a wine label is an important characteristic when choosing a wine. If we were to choose and design our own wine labels, What would your choice be?
Straight to the point, black
Yeah.
and white. Say it as it is.
Yeah, I think it should be a sensual face. When you like it, you go for it. That kind of thing. That would be perfect for you.
Hmm.
Um,
And yourself? And yourself? What represents you?
And for me, I think it would be me rolling my eyes when I'm tasting the wine, because now that I've seen myself on footage, I realize I really roll my eyes like I'm
I keep on
enjoying
forgetting that face. Can you show me that face again?
it. You'll see it a bit later. It's very memorable. So that's something to think about, wine labels and design, and that's kind of the thought and facts for the week. Let's move on to what we've been drinking lately.
What I've been drinking lately. So, actually had that drink with you. The Penfold 2009 RWT Shiraz. So we had it over not last weekend, but a couple of weekends ago. But RWT stands for Red Wine Making Trial. Obviously, it's kind of grown from a trial now to something that's spectacular. First time I've had it, even though I've kept it in the cellar for I think over 10 years. I knew it was going to be special. I didn't know it would be this special. Blew my mind in terms of how delicately balanced it was with the power that it had of a big Shiraz. It was juicy, it was creamy, it was refined, it was everything I kind of expected and more. I have, I think, 4 more bottles, and I just have to try and hold out and maybe not drink it all at once. So that was my one. I know. What do you think of it? You had it as well.
Oh, that was delicious, and I think the gratings for Penfolds is like there's the St Henry's, and then it's the RWT, and then it's the Grange. So I've had the St Henry's, haven't had the RWT, but that was delicious. Very smooth and smooth to the mouth. That's good.
Again, back to the metaphors. Like for me, it was like driving on. Why are you laughing?
Go to the metaphor. Yep.
Yep. It's like driving like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. You have all that power there, but it's on a cloud. It's smooth. It's like a velvet glove. It's got the power, but it's softened in a controlled manner. So that's how I describe it.
Right. I thought you were going to talk about lovers, and
I don't know why you think that all the time.
Okay. Well, you started out with that topic, so
what have you been drinking?
So that was interesting. I've been drinking another Margaret River. It was a Chardonnay. It was a Lewin Estate art series, 2019. And that was it was very nice. It had lemon, citrus. It had a bit of a grass scent to it as well, which is enjoyable. In terms of the overall mouthfeel, it was quite encompassing. Mandarin, citrus. Really enjoyed it. And it was interesting because I wanted to talk about price. That art series was $110, which to me, if you're spending anything over 30, then you're thinking about it. So $110, I wanted to give it a try, and it was nice. It was really delicious. Question on whether or not it's worth the value, and to me, that art series it's quite renowned across Australia as one of the best Chardonnays.
Yeah.
The RWT for that age, I think we were looking for it and we couldn't find a price. What would that cost us?
I think kind of low 200s.
Right.
Even though you can't buy it, but I think it'd be that kind of ballpark.
So still a significant investment. And for me, what I would say is the RWT tended more towards being worth that amount.
Yeah.
As opposed to the art series. But we want to give everyone an indication of prices, the things that you can try and vary. Certainly both very delicious wines.
Yeah, I think it's always very tough when you're spending that amount of coin for wines, and you're kind of probably expecting a lot as well. So, it's always a bit of a risk, but again, you still have to try it.
You have to try it.
Maybe not every week unless you're earning the big bucks like Jace here.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I don't earn big bucks. But anyway, so let's get to the topic. And we've got an interesting table decoration right now. Do you want to talk through what the topic in detail is?
So the topic in detail is we often see the tasting notes on the back of wines from reviewers, but we don't actually understand what they mean. Some of the descriptors that come to mind are forest floor, liquid Viagra, gooseberries, cat piss, whetstone, and horsehair. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I haven't really come across many of those things and don't really understand. So coming from an IT background, I use a very logical thought process around what means what and how and why. So I thought I looked at the descriptors for these two wines. I've actually literally took that meaning around garrigue, which is meant to be bay leaves, thyme, and a bit of rosemary. I think I'm missing the sage. Star anise, got cola, got fennel, got raspberries, cinnamon, pomegranate, crushed coriander seeds. Just to, as we drink, smell it. Does it make sense? Can we make two and two kind of match up?
Yeah, I don't know how liquid Viagra. What would that taste like, and what's the difference to tablet form? I don't know. That's bizarre. But
I don't know. You tell me,
you
Jess.
need to. Well, I guess we'll find out if any of these have any Viagra in it. But that's the kind of thing. It's a great topic because there's so many descriptors. Let's see if it's true. So let's talk about the wines that we have today, and it's the Battle of the Pinots. We've got a Pinot from New Zealand, Central Otago, and then we have a Pinot from Yarra Valley. So the one from New Zealand is the Nanny Goat 2020 Pinot Noir from New Zealand.
Central Otago, classic. My one's from Oakridge Estate in the Yarra Valley, the Hazeldean Pinot Noir 2020. Very good winery.
Right. And so we've got it laid out here, and we're going to start out with the Nanny Goat. And firstly, we'll go through the descriptors, what people have been saying in terms of the wine label and the reviews. We'll test it against reality, and then we'll also go through a rating. So we'll start with the Nanny Goat, and the Nanny Goat had some interesting descriptions. On the label, it says blah 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 blah, and then this is in the pursuit of magic, right? And what does that mean into taste and smell? I don't know.
I never pursued magic myself.
You've never pursued magic either of us. So we got to see if we then move to the tasting notes. It talks about it has a scent of cola, garrigue, which is, you had to explain that to me. You just said what that is. We've got the fennel, which is the great green bush here, and that is the scent. And so I think what we should do, like we say when we're tasting here, we should be able to taste with our nose, our mouth, and our eyes. Now, I went in a different order, but I was just trying to mix it up. Let's try the nose. So we should be smelling this, getting some cola, garrigue, and fennel vibes.
Mm. Mm.
You had the cola, right?
I've smelt the cola, I smelt the wine, and the fennel. Let's go.
You put that bush in the face right there.
I love a bit of bush in my face.
Okay. Like, so far I've gone to the chicken shop and had a Coke with some chicken stuffing with seasoning in there, and then it tickled my nose. Sorry.
Bush does do that to you.
It went straight in there. And so isn't fennel normally like a licorice scent?
I think the problem is that you gotta smell it.
You really ripped that open there. Okay. That's the fennel.
See?
You're aggressive. I see the kind of lovemaker you are. Okay, so that's. Did you want to smell some licorice in your nostrils?
Now that's. The funny thing for me is that I don't think any of these smells maybe is a kind of one-to-one match.
Yes.
But as I smell them and smell the wine, it kind of goes well together.
Yeah, I agree. I think, to be honest, the first scent, and maybe this is what I always get out of a Pinot, was more like a raisin, dry raisin kind of flavor, prune.
More the classic Pinot is more kind of red fruits, but
all of these, after smelling it, you can kind of imagine it. Well, not imagine. You can kind of smell it as well within the flavor. Yeah. Whether or not if we had these here, I don't know if I would have got those straight away.
Yeah.
So
it's good. I think now that we've had it, we've compared it, I kind of get it.
Mm-hmm.
At least for this one, we can see for the next one. But for me, I kind of get it.
Yeah, I agree. You can smell those flavors in there. If we go to the taste, then and the taste of it here is around cola, red currant, crushed coriander seeds. I think you've crushed some seeds and some star anise.
Mm.
So let's smell the star anise. Reminds me of Vietnamese pho. And the crushed coriander seeds. Okay. And the cola? Yeah, that tastes like Coca-Cola. That's interesting. Have you had a sip?
I haven't sipped the cola. I sipped this, sorry. Yeah. No, just trying to think. I feel definitely the herbs around the garrigue kind of coming through for me. A slight hint of cola, but maybe that's I don't know. Is it not the sweetness, but something else that kind of comes through? Not so much the fennel. Maybe a hint of cardamom, not so much star anise.
I think the cardamom is coriander seeds.
Coriander seeds.
That's probably the one that's most prevalent in the taste for me. I just had another sip of Coke with it. I mean, it goes nice with the wine, but Coke goes nice with everything in my mind. So in terms of whether or not it actually matches reality, maybe there's a bit of imagination there and creativity, but there's certainly elements that are coming through.
Well, I think it's like art, right? It's a bit subjective sometimes, how you interpret it. But to me, like, I get it. I think it makes sense. But again, that logical pattern, it does fit together, some more so than others. But I think that's good test.
And not everyone has the same experience in terms of taste and scent. So we'll try the next one.
No, the other thing that you said that a reviewer mentioned is around the number 8 in rugby.
Yes.
How could you forget?
How could I forget that one? So there was a reviewer of the Nanny Goat, and what they said is that having the wine is like a number 8 in rugby. It has a punch and does some heavy lifting, but is nimble to show soft hands and quick feet like the backs. Now, that was really creative, and obviously this person is a rugby union fan or even a player themselves. But how do you translate that to wine?
I don't know. Sure. Like for me, I played rugby before, and funnily enough, I've actually played that number 8 position.
Right.
And the thought that kind of comes to my mind is about 30 sweaty men going for a ball. But I don't know how that translates to
I don't know. Yeah. Nanny Goat doesn't remind me of 30 sweaty men. No? Well, maybe I need to taste it again.
Feel like a rugby player now?
I don't feel like a rugby player, but what I do feel like what they're trying to say is that when you do taste it, it's got a strong, bold flavor, and over time the finish is quite subtle. It's there's still quite a finish there. Yeah, quite a gentle.
For me, it means that there's a lot of restraint there, but I'm not probably feeling the power of a number 8 coming through. Probably more of a winger.
A winger. What about soft hands? I found that was interesting, but anyway, there we go.
Anyway, next wine. Oakridge Estate in the Yarra Valley, Hazeldean Pinot Noir 2020, I think north facing. I think of the Oakridge ones, I think Hazeldean's in a north facing, slightly hotter area, I think lower altitude, which means that it should be slightly bigger in terms of flavour. But I think looking at the ratings, actually quite well rated. So we can try and see. So again, eyes, nose, mouth. Let's try with that eyes first. Colour. I think get our special wine tools. It's called our A4 piece of paper, and it's very light colour. So compared to the Nanny Goat, slightly lighter as well. So interesting in terms of what that translates into in terms of flavour.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably more watermelon. With the other one, the Nanny Goat's a bit darker.
Yeah, so just in terms of the reviews for the Hazeldean, one of the reviews talks about a complex array of red fruits, pomegranate, red cherry, alpine raspberry. I brought some raspberries because I haven't really tasted alpine raspberry before. I'm hoping it's very similar. Nestled with a whole bunch of aromatics and cinnamon-like spices. Air brings some ripened notes of Mascherano, cherries, ripe plum, adding to a sense and depth of concentration. So lots of words there, lots of descriptors. I've got the pomegranates. I've got the raspberries. Got cinnamon as well. Let's see if you can match any of
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. And while you've been talking, I've been smelling it, and to be honest, the pomegranate stands out. On the nose, I do get those popping seeds of
Oh, yes.
pomegranate. Yeah.
Definitely a lot more herbaceous than the first one. Definitely a lot more savoury for me. Nanny Goat a lot lighter. This is a bit more savoury, bigger,
Yeah, you're right.
even though it's lighter in colour.
So the color doesn't really translate to the
No.
scent. That's so interesting.
Yeah, now on taste. The tannins is a lot bigger on this one compared to the Nanny Goat. A bit more structure complexity, and the length is definitely a lot better on this one than the Nanny Goat.
Yeah. The tannin and that, the kind of stretching feeling on the mouth, it's still there. The flavor profile on the length is a lot stronger as opposed to the soft hands of the nanny goat.
Even the Nanny Goat.
Both good wines. But this is on the mouth. It feels a bit more full bodied than the other. There's a bit more body to it. I wouldn't say it's full bodied, but there's more body to the other in mine.
Yeah, which is surprising for me because it's lighter in color.
Yes.
Which tends to mean less skin contact because less color and less tannins, but then it's actually bigger tannins, more complexity.
What's the vintage again?
2020.
Okay. And could vintage play a role in the difference in complexity?
Yes, but it's only 1 year.
Yeah.
But
So
what
not
might
significant.
play a role definitely is around where it's grown, right? So as I say, this was a lower altitude, bit more heat, bit more development of the grapes compared to probably where Central Otago is. Yeah, which probably another episode, soil, weather, aspects, how all that influences the wine itself.
The impact of the region. Look,
Yeah.
I've been tasting both.
Yeah.
And I think we can give a rating
I think so.
for both of them. And so if we start off with the most recent, the Oakridge.
I bought this one because I had it before, and it reminds me again why I bought it. So for me, it's like 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that was the number that I was going to. I feel like the Oakridge is 8 out of 10 in terms of corkscrews. It's just got more complexity. It's got more body. It's interesting that the color is lighter, but it's got all of that. And for the Nanny Goat, I would give the Nanny Goat a 7. I think it was enjoyable. I just don't think it has the same complexity and depth and length as the Oakridge.
I'm between a 6 and a 7. Like this one is very, again, it's there, but for me, it's a lot simpler.
Yeah.
I like a thinking wine that makes you think, and I think this one does it for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I say this is an 8, and that's probably like a 6.
And I'm so keen to find out the differences between the regions for another episode. But that's a good summary of each. So let's talk about the conclusion.
Okay, the conclusion is that look, the descriptors are there in terms of I guess subjective how you describe the wines. And I think it does help sometimes because as you describe, you have associations baked into taste, smells, and memories. For the kind of logical exercise that we did today, I think it worked to some aspects. I didn't think it would be 100%, but I think it does make sense. So that's my conclusion.
Yeah. And you can be as creative as you want to be. If you want to use rugby, then so be it. As long as you're enjoying it. I'm kind of the same. I think that what you get out of this is some other descriptors that you could try, and maybe they don't hit the mark, maybe they don't, but it's a good impact in trying to understand it and taste the wine.
Yeah, do what works for you. It could be like fish sauce, soy sauce, or whatever like that. What you kind of know what it kind of brings back to, your memories, your thoughts as well. So again, up to you. There's no right or wrong with what we do. Just purely, give your feedback.
Satin sheets, liquid Viagra, use what you like. And so that's the end of today's episode. Thank you for listening and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as we say here, drink more, try more, learn more.
Thank you.